Welcome to Breaking Fears.
Yo, man, please slow down. There's ice on the road. Yo, man, I got this. Don't worry about it, bruh. Don't worry about it. Look at all that ice. Slow down, man. Slow down. We're going to end up in one of these ditches. Slow down, man. Ah! 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 Hey, YouTube world. So, as we all know, it's been kind of a wild winter blast the last couple of days, with it being very, very cold, and now it's snowing. I'm not sure about you, but every winter, I don't like winter. I really don't. It's great during the Christmas season, as I stated before in several videos, but I do not like driving in it. I do not like shoveling it, and I do not like what it does to what you own, the material things that have to be out in it. And one of my fears every time winter comes is what is going to break, because this cold really does damage not only on material things, but it also does damage on your body that you don't know until it hits. Now, I haven't had anything with the body, thank God, but with the auto, with the house, all that stuff, once it hits a certain temperature, you just pray that nothing gets affected to where something freezes. And lo and behold, it happened. So every time it hits a certain temperature for the last couple of years, it does some type of weird effect to my garage door, where it freezes, where it won't pull the garage door up. Letting it down is fine, but it affects it to pull it up. Once it hits a certain temperature, it freezes, like I said, and then once it hits a certain below, like maybe, or I'm sorry, above 15 degrees, 15 to 20 degrees, there's no issue with my garage door. And I always have a fear that it's going to do that. And so far, the last couple of years, it has. And I have to go out and raise it up by hand. And if my wife goes out, I have to make sure that the front door, she could get into the front door, or assist, or some way that she could, how can I put it, that she could basically get into the house, because the garage door will not open, and she has issues with that. So I just make sure that that I have something that will or you know, I have to make sure that she get in the house. Another thing that happens is your outdoor locks. Sometimes those will freeze up to where you can't put your key in, or the key won't open. That hasn't happened to me, but I heard it happen to some people. And then they can't get into their house, so they have to call a locksmith to come and defrost the house. With that, all you got to do is put a little heat on there, go to the store and get a little lighter and put a little heat on, and sometimes they'll defrost the mechanics inside the lock, and hopefully it won't break the lock. Another fear that comes along with cold is for material things, is when you're getting, like when you're leaving a house, and this has happened this year, and I think it happened last year too, where my doors were frozen shut. The lock's open, but the door wouldn't open because it was frozen shut. And that's, of course, from the water that flies up when you're driving. I don't get my vehicles washed during the winter time too much because of that issue, unless I know that the temperature is pretty good. But yeah, I make sure that I have something. I think they have, like, they call it de-icer. Well, it will de-ice the locks, but it doesn't work for when your door is shut. So you have to physically get inside the car somehow and then push from the inside to break that frost. And hopefully nothing breaks when you do that. My vehicle, on the passenger side, sometimes that cold will freeze my locks from opening. So not only is it where I can't open the door even though the lock is up, I can't unlock it because the lock won't come open because it's frozen. That's happened to me. Even when the vehicle was in the garage, it still froze the lock. Another thing is the stuff inside your house. Make sure you have your heat up, or make sure you have something around the pipes that will prevent anything from freezing. And that's like any of your water pipes or anything like that. Make sure that you have and I'm gonna look into this because I was thinking about this. People are using pool noodles to wrap around their pipes from the dollar store because they said it was a lot cheaper to get them at the dollar store. So I'm gonna look into that.
And here's a quick tip for you. I know if you go to the store and you try to buy insulation for your pipes to keep them from bursting, more often than not, it's going to be made out of rubber or polyethylene. Guess what else is made out of polyethylene? A pool noodle. Now,
but put some pool noodles around your pipes in the basement to help keep some heat in your water lines. That can happen. It hasn't happened to me, but it happened at one of my rentals where the tenant just they didn't have the heat up high enough, trying to save on their bill, which I don't blame them. But there was like one section of the house where the pipes were like right along the outside. They're inside, but they're on the inside next to the outside wall, if you know what if I'm saying it right. So the pipes were inside, but they were close to the wall that was an outside wall. So somehow they froze. So I had to tell her to turn the heat up inside the house, and that would defrost the lines. And they eventually did, and yes, the water started flowing again. But it's just stuff like that just, when this winter hits, just the fear that I get and that I hate. And that's from material things. For body, another fear, driving in this stuff. I'm sorry, for material things. When you're driving in this stuff, the thought of slipping and sliding and getting in an accident, a lot of people they just don't get it. They just drive like maniacs, especially people in these big Tahoes and Escalades and the Dodge Rams and the Ford Expeditions, all these big trucks and pickup trucks. They think that ice doesn't affect them. Ice affects every vehicle on the road. The heavier it is, the more damage is going to happen because it's going to slide. So just think about that. Don't go flying out in these roads acting as if you got this heavy vehicle and ice and slow doesn't affect it. It does. It will, and it's not good because the heavier it is, the harder it's to stop, and as well as it's just going to slide like crazy. And I've seen a lot of trucks lately in ditches on the side of the road along with cars, because a lot of a lot of people that drive the pickup trucks and these big Yukons and trucks like that, They just don't get it. Another thing that I suggest is that you get good tires. Get good winter tires every year. Prep your vehicle before winter hits. Get some good snow tires. They help. They're not, how can I put it? Your vehicle can slide still, but it lessens the risk of you sliding. Excuse me, as you're sliding. So it's kind of like insurance almost, right? It kind of protects you a little bit. So get some good winter tires on your vehicle before winter comes. Start looking into getting some good tires, like September, October. Buy new tires around that time. I would probably even say October, November type thing, because winter's, and this weather it's like the snow and stuff. It seems like it's starting to just come in January, February. But yeah, definitely get some new tires. Now back to the body. Coming outside not properly dressed is one big no-no. You could come out and think you're big and tough and that your body is, and this is a lot of guys, because I used to be like this when I was younger. Come out thinking that if I went out in the cold weather and stuff without coats and stuff, it wasn't for a long period of time. But this, I'll put it this way, the stupidity that I had was that I could come out without a coat thinking, oh, I'm not going to be outside for that much. And then end up being outside because something happens. Your car breaks down, you're waiting for a ride, whatever it may be. Yeah, so I was young and stupid too, and I didn't, a lot of times I didn't put on a coat, but I did put it on. So my point is, people go out here undressed and they don't realize, or they don't think about the damage that this cold can do to your body when you get older. And it does affect your bones, it affects everything. And now that I'm an adult parent, I dress warmer, much warmer, and I don't play around with this stuff. I mean, I see some people that you could just see in their skin what it does to their skin and things of that nature. Hopefully this isn't too bad. The camera's bouncing around and I think I'm going to stop because I'm driving and trying to do my video and I see the camera bouncing around. So I'm going to stop and get back later on. Okay, we stopped. So another thing that I want to go back to what it does to your vehicle. So I was just thinking this as I was driving. When they salt the roads and stuff, the amount of salt that can cake up on your car, mess up your windshield, and then you go through a ton of windshield wiper fluid. And one of my fear that I have is that the stuff gets so caked onto your windshield that when you're driving, you think it's bad driving in like really heavy rain. Driving in stuff that's caked on your windshield and you can't get off, it's like mud, but worse than mud. And this stuff dries, it dries real fast because of the cold weather and stuff. And it gets on your windshield, and if you don't have the like ice, a good de-icer for your windshield wipers, which don't get the regular windshield wiping fluid when you're in a cold winter state. Right when this stuff starts coming down, make sure you have that below freezing windshield wiper fluid in there. Oh, and also make sure you change your windshield wiping blades. You're definitely going to need good windshield wiper. I would say when you're doing your tires, do your windshield wipers at the same time. because if you don't have good windshield wipers, and then you have to go out and get them, it's easy to change, but when you're changing them outside in the cold, it's not that fun. I've done that before. Wouldn't do it again. So make sure you change out your windshield wipers as well. But getting back to the driving in it, yeah, it really makes your windshields nasty. I mean, you see how it is. People go out and they wash your car like tons of time because of the salt that's put down on the ground, and it flies up onto your car, and your car gets all salty and muddy looking and just nasty. That stuff can eat through your paint as well. Another thing is, do not spread salt on the ground when it's really, really cold like it was a couple days ago. I remember one time I was walking and I looked down on the ground and I saw that the ice, I saw these little speckles in the ice. I'm like, what the heck is that? And I kept looking down and I noticed it was the salt that the guys spread it out when it was really, really cold. It melted just enough to where it caused it to be a liquid, and then that liquid froze over the piece of salt, and it just froze it. It didn't work anymore. So don't put that down when it's really, really cold, because all you're going to do is just cause more ice to form. If that water starts flowing somewhere else, it's not going to go away. Put it down when it's like warmer temperatures, to really melt that ice and make sure that it goes away. Getting back to the body. So as I was saying, to your personal self, that ice, as I'm driving again, that ice, or the cold water, not ice or water, the cold weather does a lot to your skin as well. It dries out your lips, it dries out your skin. So you're going to need to get a lot of lotion and Curemax. Me, I have an issue with dry skin. So it really dries my skin out even more. And I need to use lotion to counteract that cold on my hands, as well as my whole body. That's another fear. And I'm afraid that people are going to see me and look at me and think, oh my gosh, that guy, he's like, does he wash up? Because my skin is really ashy looking, as we could say it. It doesn't look like fresh. It's all like really ashy looking. That's another fear I have, as well as my lips drying out and then they crack. Because if you lick your lips in the wintertime with your saliva, it dries your lips out even more. This is all the things I hate about winter, and I'm afraid about winter. So when your cracked lips happen and they sting, they burn and all that stuff, I don't feel like dealing with that. And I lick my lips, so I gotta get the lip chapstick. Slipping and falling in ice. I will get back with that in a minute when I get back in the car. Okay, back in the car. So another thing that I was thinking about was the for your body was slipping. I'm not even going to just say ice, because there's like tons of things you can slip on. But slipping is a issue with this cold and wintry time. You can get out your vehicle, slip on ice. Why did I bring that up? Again, just like this whole topic, the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because it's happened to me. It happened to me today. The topic for slipping. So as I'm getting out of my car, I put my foot down, and as you can see, this all these bumps, this is from the ice on the road. This isn't a bumpy road, it's ice on the road that the plow trucks couldn't get up. So as I was saying, I got out of the car and I almost slipped on like slushy snow. Luckily I was holding on to my steering wheel that helped me from actually slipping out of the car and falling on my butt and possibly bruising or doing something to my tailbone. But I've one year had got out of my car, and I was going to look at a potential rental property, and part of it was my fault for parking too close to the curb, but the major part was that it was snow, a lot of snow. So I get out of my car, and it was during my lunch hour from work, and I had to dress up at the time. So I had dress shoes on, not good in the wintertime. A lot of people usually take their dress shoes off and then they'll put on like snow boots. But like I said, I was at lunch. I was trying to get out there, look at this house, see if I wanted to get it, and then get back to work. So as I got out of the car, I'm walking up, and I slipped, and I twisted my ankle like really, really bad. And it did finish out the day with the twisted ankle, but the next day I went to the hospital, and they said I had a severe, I think it was a sprain. I think they said it was, and they just wrapped it up. Luckily, I didn't break anything, but yeah, I mean, that's a fear I have when I'm walking, especially when there's a lot of ice or snow on the ground. Everybody has that fear, is slipping. And all I can say, the best thing to get through that fear, is to go very slow, walk slow. Same thing with driving, drive slow. But yeah, walk slow so you don't slip, fall down, and break a leg or twist an ankle or knee or whatever it may be, because it could happen. Oh, another time I was walking out of I had just shoveled the stairs of my rental property, and I was walking out of the rental property, and I slipped down those stairs, all the way down the stairs. Luckily, I didn't hurt myself. I mean, I hurt myself, but luckily I didn't hurt it where I was sprained anything, broke anything, but I bruised stuff. And that wasn't fun. And I didn't even think that would happen, but it happened. Because ice, snow, even though there's no ice on there, if it's slushy or whatever, you could still slip in that stuff, and that's what happened to me. The surface was smooth. Because I had just shoveled, it still had a little snowy residue on it. And I had slipped on it all the way down the stairs I went. But yeah, these are my fears. I figured I'd put that out there, especially during this time of season. And like I said in my last video, the snowy season, I'm not one of those snowbirds, snow bunnies, whatever you want to call it. I'm not into winter. Only time I like it is during Christmas time. Other than that, it's like, go away. Like the song Rain, Rain, Go away, come back another day. But I'm like, snow, go away. Don't come back another day. And if you do, only come back for Christmas and then leave again. Anyway, with all that, thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me talk here. Sorry about the bouncing of the video as I'm driving here. And hope you had a good day. Hope you had a good weekend. Last weekend. I hope you have a good weekend coming up. With that, thank you for watching. See ya.